Hi, this is Dr. Elizabeth Saunders Medlock from Life by Design Coaching with your life coaching tip of the week for the week of August 27th, 2012. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the concept of self-compassion, which has been researched by Kristen Neff in EFF. She's actually written a book on it, and it's also referenced in several other books that I have read recently. And so self-compassion is really gaining ground over self-esteem as a way to really build yourself and self-nurture. I tell people all the time, be kinder to yourself. It's amazing the things that we say to ourselves that we would never say to other people. We're much harder critics of ourselves. We say horrible things to ourselves that we would never say to others. And so self-compassion is really a way to be good to yourself. It involves three different things that Christian F. talks about. And one thing is being kind to yourself. So the whole concept of self-kindness, the idea is that when you have, instead of blaming yourself, shaming yourself, thinking about all the negative things that you can say to yourself, to really treat yourself kindly. Say good things about yourself, turn it around, be positive. So the self-talk you do, as I've talked about many times, has to be positive and uplifting, and we just need to be just a little more loving and nurturing towards ourselves. So self-kindness is an important part of self-compassion. The second part is something she talks about, the idea of the shared human experience, and that everyone has painful experiences, everyone has failures, everyone comes up on very hard situations, hits walls, has life events that are traumatic or difficult. And so that idea that I'm not in it alone, everyone else kind of has experienced that same thing, that shared feeling of it's not just me that has had this failure, it's not just me that feels this way, that it's kind of a collective, is another way to be compassionate, in that you're just part of the shared story of everyone's life experience through the journey, where we have a lot of ups and we have a lot of downs. And then the third part of self-compassion really is mindfulness. And I've talked about this a lot in terms of disconnecting from yourself and your ego, and really being able to look objectively at how you feel. And that is part of mindfulness. Mindfulness means that you're aware of the emotions that you have, but you don't get into your headspace where you become overly negative and critical about them, or exaggerate them, or make them out to be more than they are. But that mindfulness just means that, yes, I have these feelings, I've had this failure, I've had this bad thing happen, I'm aware that it's there, but I'm going to step back from it, look at it critically, and be objective about it, and not internalize it, and not beat myself up about it. So those are the three things that make up self-compassion. The idea of being kind to yourself, the idea of it being a shared experience, everyone feels and deals with the same things, and the idea of being mindful about your emotions and understanding what they are, but then kind of detaching from them, writing about them, getting them out there, not suppressing them, which we talked about can cause problems, and not kind of overly blowing them up and going the opposite way. And I think another thing that she talks about, and also Brene Brown talks about in her book about living wholeheartedly, is being courageous in the moment and being courageous with yourself. And so when you get in those moments where you feel really down and really unworthy and really helpless, or any of those feelings that we all feel, that you do something courageous for yourself. So what's the most courageous thing that you can do in a moment when you feel totally fearful, totally helpless, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, whatever those negative feelings you may be feeling? What can you do to be courageous, and what can you do to take care of yourself? And it may be, for myself right now, I need to reach out to a friend. For myself right now, I need to take a nap and move away with this, or go watch a movie that's going to make me laugh. So what can you do to be courageous, to stand up for yourself, and to nurture yourself in those moments when you feel the worst? It's important to always take care of yourself in that way. So check out all the literature on self-compassion. I think it's really powerful stuff. A really powerful way to live, and even I think better than a lot of literature I've read on self-esteem. So be good to yourself, be nurturing, be kind, be your own best friend, as I've always talked about. Love yourself, but practice self-compassion. I think it opens you up to being connected with others. It opens you up to being an authentic person. and it opens you up to be able to have and feel emotions without them overwhelming you, which is really what we kind of all want to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this tip of the week on self-compassion, and I will see you next week for another tip.